Looks like we have something in going live, so we'll just record Varunji, so you can start here.
Start.
You can start, yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, namaste to everybody. So welcome to today's session. So initially, to start off, we will chant 3 times Omkara, then we'll follow it up with the universal prayer, and then we will proceed with this today's sessions. So request all of you to mute and close your eyes, take a deep breath. We'll do 3 times Omkara, and then we'll continue. Take a deep breath. Start with the universal prayer. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May all who feel themselves as one with thee know they are therefore one with every other. So with this, we will begin today's session. So today's topic is Desirelessness from the book At the Feet of the Master. And it will be given to us by Sister Sandhya Rani. So brief introduction about Sister Sandhya Rani, today's speaker. So she joined TS in the year 1991, and she is a member of the Bangalore City Lodge, Karnataka. And her qualifications, she has done MA in Kannada and ML in Labour, and she is working for HUDCO, Housing Development Corporation, as an Assistant General Manager. She has assisted in translating a few books from English to the local language, which is Kannada. Maybe around 15-20 books she has assisted. And also she has conducted various study classes in Bhuali and Kerala and Odisha. And apart from that, she has given a lot of lectures in the Bangalore City Lodge as well. And she was also an inquiry officer during the International Convention at Adyar. So our main aim is to spread curiosity, and I think she is doing every bit of it, and wherever she finds the opportunity, she has been doing it. I think, yes, with this little introduction, so I would like request Sandhya Rani to take over and wish her all the best for today's session. Desirelessness at the feet of the Master. Over to you, Sandhya ji.
Thanks a lot, Varun. Nice introduction.
Yeah, you can start. Yeah.
Thank you. First and foremost, I would like to thank Smita ji for giving me this opportunity in the Youth Lodge. Youth is below 45 years, but I'm 56 years. Again, you have given me the opportunity to share few thoughts in Youth Young Indian Theosophist group. I'm very much thankful to you and to the team also. Today's book is At the Feet of the Master by Jiddu Krishnamurti, and this book was published in 1910. It is more than 113 years old book, but still it is very, very relevant to each one of us. The teaching contained in it were given to Jiddu Krishnamurti by his master. Who is this master? Is Master Kutumi. We all know, majority of the Theosophical Society members knows that Mahatma Maurya and Mahatma Kutumi were the main people who were behind finding the Theosophical Society. Why Kutumi gave this teachings to Jiddu Krishnamurti? Because they were preparing him for initiation. That is the first initiation. There are so many stages of evolution. In that, initiation is the first step. Before that, there were so many stages also. They gave over a period of 5 months. And C.W. Leadbeater used to take Jiddu Krishnamurti and Nityananda to Himalayas near Mahatma Kutumi in their astral body. Every day they used to go, but Jiddu Krishnamurti used to recall what and all the teachings that he received. Then he started writing whatever he received. Only few sentences he could recollect, and he was writing down. In 1909, during summer, they were taken to Himalayas and the teachings were given to him. And this book is known as the spiritual classic. We are all in the path of spirituality, and this book is specifically known as the spiritual classic. And this book is dedicated to those who knock. In Kannada, there is a saying, Tattu Bagilu Tereyuvudu, means if you knock, the door will get opened. Unless and until we knock, nobody will come from the inside to open the door. No, now calling bell is there, but this book itself has been dedicated to those who knock. So whomsoever want to knock, this book is dedicated to them. And in the very beginning only, it has been written, to hear the master's words is not enough. You must do what he says, means what master says, attending to every word, taking every hint. If a hint is not taken, if a word is missed, it is lost forever. Once for all, it is gone. For he doesn't speak twice. If we implement it in our life, then we can also get the initiation. But unless and until we implement, nothing will come to us. How much ever we do, how much ever we study, one must implement this. What is that we are going to implement? In this book, they have given 4 qualifications. Last month, our brother Aditya spoke on discrimination between real and unreal. We all know and we have heard. The next thing is desirelessness. That is the subject which has come to me. Desirelessness means it is vairagya. In Gita, we have heard, no? Abhyasa and vairagya. This is vairagya. Desirelessness means absolute absence of desire. No desire should be there in us. It is also known as indiscrimination. Indifference and dispassion. Indifference means total just neglect. What is that we are supposed to neglect? And dispassion, to what we should have the passion and what we should not have. Here, complete absence of desire is the main thing. And next month, we are going to study in detail about the good conduct. Next, the other next month is love. That is the ultimate thing. In this chapter, for this book, Leadbeater and Annie Besant have written a commentary, that is Talks on the Path of Occultism, Volume 1, is meant for at the feet of the master explanation. In this chapter, they have done 5 subdivisions for second chapter, that is discrimination. The first is removal of desire. All of us have got desire, no? One desire or 2 desire or n number of desires. We have got hundreds and hundreds of desire. One desire is fulfilled, then another desire will come up. Like that, non-stop, every second, we are always desirous. So we have to remove all desires. Then we should have one good desire. There is again an exception, like how law has got exception. In the same way, in this also, we can have one desire, that is one good desire. What is that means? To become like a master. Then psychic powers. If we want that psychic powers, we have to lead our life in that way, and then we can try if we want the psychic powers. Otherwise, we should not ask. Then the next one is small desire. Always we have got small kuti desires. That small desires only will become big, and always we are desireful only. Then the last one is mind your own business. If we mind our own business, nothing in front of that. Always we have to mind our business, but there is an again exception. In few circumstances, we can interfere. That also we will discuss. These are all the 5 subdivisions this chapter contains. That is desirelessness. First one is removal of desire. Let's take one by one leisurely. Majority of us, the qualification of desirelessness is a very, very difficult one. Because always we are leading our life with likes and dislikes. That is, one side is raga, another side is dvesha. I like this, I want to possess. I don't like this, I want to push it outside. Is that the way? Always we are leading our life in that way only. Because we have identified ourselves as the desire is me, that is myself. In case if we stop the desire, in case if you don't feed the desire, then I have left with nothing. Now there is nothing for me to do. My life is over. It is end. I don't want this. I don't want that. So my life itself is not there. What for I should live when I don't have anything? I don't want anything. That life itself will come to end. I want, my family want, all these things. Everything belongs to personality. Desire belongs to the personality. That is lower quaternary. That is our physical body, our etheric double, our astral body, and our lower mental. This includes personality, and this personality only wants the desire. That is, I like, I don't like it. All these things will come to will belongs to this. Is desire is helpful for us? No. And desire is a major hindrance to meditation also. If you want to meditate, the desire will come in between, means the thought only is there. Though we sit for meditation, that we will not be in a position to meditate. Always we are thinking about how to achieve that, how to gain, how to possess, all these things. I don't like. Only that same thought is coming again and again, and that will not allow us to sit quietly, calmly, and meditate. That is, contemplate on our own self. That cannot happen as long as we have got the desire. Then desire belongs to personality only. Anything that changes is not self. Last month we have heard real. What is real? That is permanent, one and only thing. That is the soul, S-O-U-L. That is caps. That changes, this smaller S-E-L-F, that small self, no, always it changes. The desire of this minute will definitely change to the next minute desire. Always we are running about all these desires, which changes every moment. As long as we feed the food to that desire, I'll accomplish this desire. This is my last desire. This is my first desire. This is the only desire. All these things, it's of no use to have. So we have to completely come out of this desire. Raga, dvesha. We have to accept what is. What comes to us, only that is ours. What is not ours, it will not come. Why to struggle to achieve that? Not necessary. Why waste of our time? Waste of our life. This is the main thing. So let us come out of all desires. So we have to remove all these desires. Then the second thing in this chapter is one good desire. There is only one, that is good desire. What is that means? These are all the only who have not seen the master. The desire, no, whatever the desire that we have, those who have not seen the master, means I have not seen the master. That's why I'm giving continuous desires, one after the other. In the light of his holy presence, all desire dies. Who has seen the master? Leadbeater has taken Jiddu Krishnamurti and Nityananda. That is Jiddu Krishnamurti's younger brother, to the masters. When Jiddu Krishnamurti sees the master, then whatever the desires that he had, everything died. Because he was sitting in the front of the master at his feet to learn, to receive the teachings, whatever the master gave. So during that time, nothing, no desire was left, because he has seen the master. He is so glorious. The only desire, so what he desires is, I want to become like him. The desire is there, because he liked the master like anything. That's why he wanted to turn his life, that is transform his life from this personality to higher life. That is how the master was leading his life, how nicely he used to give the teaching. So even he wanted to learn. So that's why he says, I want to become, there is only one desire, to be like him, like his master, like Kutumi. There are so many evolved human beings are there, evolved beings are the masters are there. So we can choose the master also. KH, that is Kutumi, gave the teachings. That administrative capacity Mahatma Maurya had. Like that, there are 7 race, sub-races, all those things are there. For every race, there is one Mahatma who heads that thing. To C.W. Leadbeater also, Kutumi is his master. And Jiddu Krishnamurti also, Kutumi is the master. So his main desire is to be like him. That is the only desire Jiddu Krishnamurti had. Even we can also have the same desire, but for that we have to try and lead our life according to that. And Jiddu Krishnamurti, C.W. Leadbeater, after this book gets published, then he writes, and he tells in one of the lectures, when he gave series of lecture, he says, this is one of the most beautiful sentence in this very remarkable book. This is one of the most beautiful sentence. See how nicely he says and he writes. Most beautiful. Nothing in front of the master. When our desires dies, what is left? When the personality itself has gone, means only higher triad is left. Then we are very near to the goal. That is Jivan Mukta, human being to superhuman being. We can become that. Then Annie Besant writes, desire is the root that sends forth many shoots. We can cut off the shoots, but the root remains and new one keeps coming and keeps growing. But union with the master will finally stop, will finally end the root of all desires. Union with the master. This is the main thing which we are supposed to understand. So when can we become that? Are we really serious? If we really serious in this to achieve the spiritual path, means definitely we can achieve that goal. For that, what is required? Let us see. Yet before we have the happiness of meeting him face to face, directly face to face, we may attain desirelessness if we will. If we will. What is that will? Will belongs to higher triad, Atma, Buddhi, and higher Manas. That is, it belongs to that will. Desire is the food for our personality. The person, if we want to grow our personality, means always we can increase our desires one after the other. Will means that is the food for higher triad. We have to will to achieve something. Yet before we have the happiness of meeting him face to face, we may attain desirelessness. All desire dies. But if we will, right now, we can achieve that stage. Then we have to raise step by step. In one step, we cannot achieve the main goal. So we have to grow step by step. Only the strong can climb the great heights. Only the strong can climb the great heights. I'd been to Kailas Manasarovar. When I climbed for 10 minutes, I was exhausted. Then I thought what to do, whether to go back. I have gone all the way. From Delhi, 2 days we have gone by bus also. Then I'm feeling really tired. I don't know what to do. Then I started thinking about in myself whether to pursue my journey or to go back. Then I made up my mind. I have come all the way. Let me finish. If I can finish the parikrama and see the Kailas Manasarovar and then go back. Otherwise, right now to go back. Then I decided, let me go. That is the just 5-10 minutes, whatever the thought I did, that made me to complete and come back successfully. After seeing Kailas Manasarovar, nothing was there. All whatever the strain which are taken in climbing, everything went off. Like when the mother gave, after going through the pain after delivery, after seeing the child face, how she feels happy. In the same way, after seeing Kailas Manas Sarovar and Kailasa Parvata, then I was so happy, means so happy. So we, all of us can achieve that. If we will, we can see the master face to face and all, we can live our desires also simultaneously. Then recently I'd been to Valley of Flowers. I am so old, whether is it possible or not. Again, it is possible. After seeing the valley, all the pain, all the strain, everything went. So this is really possible. When it is possible in physical plane, in higher planes, it's really easy. And if we will, really we can achieve. Discrimination has already shown us that things like wealth and power are not worth having. Always we are running after what? To make money, to have some power. Power means what? Power includes wish to control the other person, not in self-control. Power is to control the other person, and I want to be above that person. This is the why I want power is, I want this seat, I want this position, all these things. These are all for one life. This is what Radha Bernier, in several of her lectures, she used to say that, why earn for one life? It is total temporary. After 60 years, we will come back home. Can we identify with our own designation? No. These are all temporary things. Wealth. Can we take one small thing with us? Not even a till. That also will not come. Not even one small pin. Nothing comes along with us. These are all not worth having. If we have already understood, then all desires for them ceases. Whatever we do is only good deeds, and that will come along with us. That will be there in our permanent items. That will come life after life, like a samskara. So let's achieve that. Only that will come with us. We must begin by finding out what things are worth having. What is worth having? So let's spend our time on that instead of wasting our time. And our 5th international president, N. Sriram, used to tell also in his lecture, like we have got one biru or one bag filled with so many other things. If we have to do upside down, whatever is there in the biru almera, we have to throw everything out and then pick and choose what is really necessary. Let's take it and keep it inside. That is worth having. What is unnecessary, let's throw. It's so easy. We have to remove all unwanted things. And I have got a sugar. Okay, what I'm supposed to eat? What is good for my health only I'm supposed to eat. Instead of eat what is good, instead of that, if I start eating all sorts of sweets and all those things, then what happens? Sugar increases. All major organ fails. And I'll not be in a position to do anything. And I'll be a burden to another person. And I'll die. Is this the thing which I want? And as long as I have got desires, one after the other, then number of reincarnation also increases, rebirth. because all the desires will be fulfilled by the masters. Whatever we desire, the God will fulfill our desire. For to complete our desires, to fulfill our desires, we have to take birth again and again. This is not really required. Then few will abandon the search for earthly aims only in order to gain the heaven. I'll do fasting. I'll not do this. I'll do parikrama. I'll go and see all the temples. I'll go to Kashi. I'll leave this. I'll leave that. Everything for what? Because to attain the heaven, that is moksha. To attain personal liberation from rebirth, into this error, we must not fall. This is what the master says. This is an error. We should not fall into this. Always we should remember that all selfish desire binds. Whatever may be, all selfish desires binds. However high may be the object, until we have got rid of it, we are not wholly free to devote ourselves to the work of the master. Because always we are working to fulfill our own desires. Then where is the time to do the master's work? No time. How to spread theosophy, how to take care of theosophical society, how to reduce the heavy burden of karma of the world. Nothing, because we are only always busy in fulfilling our own desires. We are least bothered about the what other person is required or needed. When I'm contemplating and spending all my time, energy, money on my own self, then I'll not be in this position to know, to read, or to spread, or to do any sort of work to the society, theosophical society. So this, first and foremost, we have to start learning to serve. While doing service, we learn one after the other, one after the other. Automatically, we will really grow. While see, the tap is there. What is the tap's work? Is to pass that water, whatever comes from the main tank, through that small pipe, and then we open this tap. While allowing that water to pass, it also observes. What is that means? That cold. When we touch that pipe, no, we can feel that cold. Though it is allowing it to pass, simultaneously it is observing. While serving, we are also evolving ourselves. We have to understand. So we should have only one desire, that is becoming like a master. Other than that, we should not have any other desire. The third one comes as psychic power. We should not have any desire for psychic power. They will come when the master knows that it is best for us to have them. Master knows, because our one astral form is there in Himalayas. Each and everybody's they will have, and by seeing the color, they will know where exactly we are evolving. To force them too soon often brings more trouble than of any help. The time and strength that it takes to gain them can be spent in serving others. Whatever the time, whatever the strength that we are giving in evolving our psychic power, that can be spent in serving others. There is one small example. Long back I read. Most probably Vivekananda, I think so. Somebody in Kashi or some river is there, and that saint, one person whomsoever had developed that psychic power, walks on the water. Then he says very proudly, see, I have spent my 25 years. See, I have learned. This is my power. I can walk on the water without having any power. Now we need bridge or boat and all those things. But he had learned. He had developed that psychic power. So he says, you have spent 25 years. You have literally wasted your 25 years, and you have learned only one thing: to walk on water. If you would have paid during that time, 25 paisa was a big amount. If you had paid 25 paisa, aram say you would have crossed this river without having any problem. Why did you waste 25 solid years of your life in this birth? It is utter waste. No need. The keynote of this little book is that everything should be subordinated to service, and we have to remove selfishness. He wanted to show it to others. That's why he learned to how to walk on water. That is not all required. First and foremost, we have to serve. Learn is to serve. Everything is subordinate to service. Everything comes secondary. First and foremost comes is service. I was just going through G.S. Arundale's book that he is the third international president. There he says that he used to judge people by their actions, not as they see, means their outer looks or clothes or how they used to speak or body language, all those things. And the extent to which self-sacrifice seems to dominate in their lives. How that self-sacrifice used to be there. On that basis, used to judge people and then used to utilize or make use of them and used to think and send thought process also. Then psychic power belongs to the world different from the physical. Not in physical plane we will have the psychic power, like clairvoyance or clairaudience or seeing nature spirits or auras, somebody's auras. Everything can be seen. It does not mean that there are 100% correct, because we may miss 9 looks like 6. So how long we can translate? This is not 9, this is 6. So they may not be 100% correct also. Energy is capital. True, no? In Voice of the Silence, H.P. Blavatsky very nicely she writes that don't aspire for iddhis, don't aspire for siddhis, don't rely on senses. There is one example which I think Leadbeater has given. One young lady is there, another side, one old lady is there. So he keeps 2 cups of water. To one young lady, he gives cold water. To that senior old lady, he gives hot water. So both of them will keep their fingers in the cup. And for 5 minutes, they were just keeping. Then after some times, he will give one more cup of water. That is plain water. Neither it is cold nor it is hot. Then the lady, younger lady, whose finger was in the cold water, when she touches this ordinary water, she says, no, it's very hot. Then the old lady who was keeping her finger in the hot water, then when she touches this ordinary water, she says, it's very cold. That is plain water. Neither it is cold nor it is hot. So in the same way, our senses also differs. So don't belong to that sensory, because that also changes. In the same way, psychic power also. The psychic powers will come in the course of development. And if the master sees that it would be useful to have, then they will only tell us how to unfold them safely. For this, master or guru or a teacher is very much required. Otherwise, we can go mad also. Until then, it is better to be without them. Then to C.W. Leadbeater, Master Jwalkol told him to try in a certain sort of meditation. To do meditation in a total one particular sort of meditation he was supposed to do, and he did it. Even to this day, that octagonal bungalow is there at Adiyar. He was staying there. To that place, he was isolated himself in one room, and Jwalkol used to come, and there I think T. Subbarao used to help him in the way of meditation. He was meditating, and 24 hours before only his Kundalini was awakened, and he got all psychic powers, clairaudience, clairvoyance, everything. You could go and see his past lives. He has written so many books also. He has written chakras and all those things. And 48 lives of Alkun, that is Jiddu Krishnamurti's. All those books he could write, because he never used the psychic power for selfish desire. He never used to make money. In that selfishness itself was not at all there. Because of that only, master awakened that Kundalini 24 hours in advance. The same thing will be said to each one of us in case if we really do the master works. If we lead our life properly, then the right time comes and we will also get that psychic power. Like how we get the fruit or flowers during season, no? So we have to try, we have to wait. First and foremost, we should have the patience and will to continue non-stop. If the student is ready, master will come. We have to do the master's work first in the physical plane, whatever we know. That is to spread theosophy. Then we can work in the higher planes. Then this will automatically come. If we are ready, then the master will use us. We had our servant in our old house. Then he was very, very nice human being. Somebody was doing some research. Maybe he was trying out some medicines. He was doing his PhD. He tried out on our maid. And he became so mad, means in front of our house, one sweet stall was there. During that time, only once right now, in every road, one sweet stall will be there. During that time, only for so many gullies, one stall used to be there. So there has made so many jalebis, 2 big plates of jalebi he had in front of my own eyes. Because whatever he was searching, doing research in that wrong effect was there, and he tried on our maid and he became mad. It took some 2 months for him to lead a normal life. He was mad. He couldn't, he was not at all aware of his senses. I've seen that sort of things also. So let us not try all those things, do our duty and leave the phala to the God. Whenever we are ready, it will come automatically. Let's not waste our time and energy in achieving psychic powers. The next one is small desire. As I told, no, so many small desire. Yesterday also I went, though I had prepared for this lecture, all these things. I went to some shop. I saw one saree and I purchased. My cousin asked, do you wear? I said, yes. I like the color, I like the combination, and my justification is I'm not putting that burden on anybody else. That desire, how long to desire? So then I realized I'm going mad. For what? How long I'll be wearing? But I like it is thin, nice, so I purchased. So small desire, small and not huge amount also. Again, I purchased. So all these things we must guard to against certain small desire. We should always have that common sense and we have to give reasons. One moment I slipped and I purchased. So which are common in daily life. It's common in our daily life. Never in out of the, other than that also they say, master says, never wish to shine. Always we want to be the center of attraction. Always we want to be in the center. When somebody is taking the photo, means I want to be standing in front. That is shining. Never appear clever. When something is there, then we'll escape and go because we are clever enough. Otherwise, we do the self-marketing. I means this, I means that. All those things is nothing but looking clever. All these things are not necessary. Have no desire to speak. This is another main thing. When Varun was introducing me, he told, no, she has assisted in translating few books. I was assisting one lady. Her name is Rukmini Krishnamurthy. She always used to tell, for majority of the problems, mainly what is the thing is root cause is this. I want to eat. Whatever we feed to this physical body, only that will give the strength for us. Eat, eat, eat. What to eat? We should choose properly. Just now I told sugar. In the same way, I want to speak. Because of that only we can build or we can demolish also. So we should be very, very alert. Before that, we should be very careful. When all desires for self has gone, still there is desire to see the result of our work. Is it true or not? Yes. I want to eat sprouts. So what I'm supposed to do? I have to soak that green gram into water. If I remove the water immediately and if I put it for sprouting, will it come? No. that seeds green gram has to be soaked in water, minimum 8 to 12 hours in water. Then pour the water, then have to put it for sprouts, means nice sprouts will come and I can eat. If I am in a hurry, if I lose my patience, if I want to see the result right now immediately, means I'll fail in my work. So we should not do that. If we help somebody, we should not expect that person, the other person to whom I have helped, should see and he should be thankful to me. He should be grateful to me. All these small desires should be stopped, because this says that it is want of trust. I don't trust. So this should not happen. In case if I am a nurse in the battlefield, means my duty is to treat the patients. So if I treat this patient, then after treating, I have to go and attend to the next patient. Even that patient also needs some my support, assistance, help. So instead of that, going and attending the next patient, if I wait, so how he reacts, whether whatever the ointment that I have applied, is it working? If I wait, means it is utter waste of time. So we should not waste our time and energy in seeing the result of whatever the work that we have done. Even after finishing the exams, we will not get the result. No, even in online also, it will take some time to process. We have to wait for it to get corrected. Then only we will get the result. The only giving which is recognized in occultism is to give as God gives, to pour out love as the sun pours out light. That is the only kind of thing we, that is master, call giving in the occult world. The only giving which recognizes in occultism is to give as God gives. Whether God sees, whether he belongs to this caste or this color, this sex, this creed, nothing. He gives to one and all. He doesn't see whether I'm giving it to rich person or a poor person. God's duty is to just give, whether you are rich or poor, white color, black color, with this community, that community, doesn't matter. Then how sun pours out his light. He doesn't see anything. That barrier should not be there. That's all. He pours his light always. Always. Only earth is rotating around the sun. It is not sun moves. Sun is there and sun rays is always coming. It is we are supposed to take it. If we are standing in shelter, then it's of no use. We will not get the sun. We have to give. This is the only thing which occultism says. When we pour out our strength to help, there must be a result. It's a fact. All great work is slow work. That we have to understand. We can see it or not, the result, but if we know the law, we know that it must be so. Then all disappointment comes from the thought of self. In Kannada, there is a saying, expectation leads to disappointment. That is, nirikshe leads to nirase. So don't expect anything. If we don't expect anything, the disappointment doesn't come into our life. Do our level best and live it. If I have written my exam properly, I need not worry about the result. Whatever the mark I get, I'll get. Whatever I'm destined to become, I'll become. Very simple. Then why to feel proud about that I am doing? Even that is not required. When the mother feeds the child, mother doesn't think that he has to feed me again. No. He or she, whatever the kid may be. So mother's duty is to feed the kid. That's all the mother does. She will not expect anything. The intensity of purity of love determines the amount of desirelessness. The purity, that's why HPB has written in her golden stairs. The first thing is a pure life. The purity of love determines the amount of desirelessness. If we love an individual, we give him our best. Is it true or false? We will do our level best. If we love our work, we pour our whole heart into it, whatever the result may be. Our duty is to do our level best, whatever is possible. Practice makes man perfect. When we are continuously doing, we are automatically improving in the way of doing. We will be very skillful. Therefore, we must do right for the sake of right, not for the hope of any reward. We must work for the sake of work, not in the hope of seeing the result. We must give ourselves completely to the service of the world because we love it and cannot help giving ourselves to it. Because we love, because I love all of you. There is no enemy at all. This is a reality. Love is the greatest purifier of desire. True love is utterly self-sacrificing and derives the complete joy from the mere process of giving. I'll quote one example. I'd been to one that is for International Yoga main headquarters is in Karnataka, Bangalore, Jigni. Their yoga teacher was there. He was serving chapatis to all of us. One person used to serve, so he also served chapati. The way he was serving, the way of giving, mere process of giving gives him the more joy. He was so joyful. Even now I can remember his eyes. Very nicely, for everybody used to take 2 chapatis and serve. That is pulkas, so it was small, so for everybody 2. Then he gave the second round. His serving was so, the skill one, I mean, it's very amazing. It is possible. The giving only should be very, very important, and we have to just give, not expect any result from anybody. We are just doing the master's work. So there is no thing to feel proud about it. We talk more than work. We talk more than work. If I continuously saying that I know cooking, without doing, if I know cooking, what is the use? I have to cook. Then only people will tell whether I have cooked properly or not. Then I want to swim. How much ever books I read, is it of any use? Unless and until I fall into the water and I learn the swimming, swimming will not come. Action speaks louder than the words. I want to kill this person, I want to kill that person. Will I get the punishment? No, unless and until I kill. So unless and until I come out of the desire, the desirelessness will not come. That's why I have to abandon all the desires. Then Christ said, for every idle word a man shall speak, he shall give an account on the day of judgment. The third one is not to shine, not to be clever, not to pose ourselves as clever. Third one is silence. This is the ultimate thing I can say. Pythagoras used to tell his students to keep absolute silence for 2 years. Just listen and work. Don't do anything else. If we learn silence, we can improve our physical health, and also it gives great peace and dignity. We can see, what people are talking, and majority of the times it is gossip, and majority of the times it will not be true also. Only noise at the end of the day, because that much material is not there to speak. So only thing, he has been addicted to talk. So C.W.L. Leadbeater says that Annie Besant had said, it seems to in one place, every useless word spoken by a student of the occultism is a brick built into the wall that separates him from his master. A brick built into the wall that separates him from the master. What is that? A useless word spoken by a student of occultism. This is worth remembering, no? How many useless words that we use every day in and day out? Is it really required? So let us learn this. It is well, speak little, better still say nothing. Unless you are quite sure that what you wish to say is true, kind, and helpful. These 3 things should be there. It should be true, it should be kind, and it should be of some help to the other person. Then only we can say something. Otherwise, always we have to keep our mouth shut. When we reach the stage of initiation, we must watch every word, the word what we say. Much common talk is unnecessary and foolish. When it is gossip, it is wicked. Majority of the words are mainly meant for gossip only in our ordinary life. So G.S. Arundel says in one place, the useful maxim, okay, think twice before you speak. Think twice before you speak. Might for you and me be extended to think 7 times before you speak. Not think twice, think 7 times before you speak. I'm often told by people to whom I give this advice that everyone following these directions would hardly ever be able to say anything at all, or that by time he had thought 7 times, the necessity for the remark would have passed. Very nice, Really, we can implement this. So be a listener rather than a speaker. Don't offer opinions unless directly asked for them. Don't offer opinions unless they are directly asked. It is free. So we give free of cost, no? So we don't lose anything. The minute something enters our ears, so we will start passing our comments free of cost. We give our opinion, whatever we know that may be relevant or may not be relevant. The person who is going through only will know what is right for him. So he will decide for that. But we insist, Jabardasti, we tell him. As per the Rosicrucian, there are 4 qualities. First is to know, to dare, to will, and to be silent. The last one is very, very tough. To attain such achievement, it is necessary to know what has to be done. Before doing anything, we should know what has to be done. To will what is required. To dare what must be attempted to. Because dhairyam sarvatra sadhanam. That courage is very, very important. Unless and until we are courageous, we cannot do anything. So we should have that dareness. Then what must be attempted to, and to keep silent with discernment. That is, we should have the discrimination when to keep quiet or to keep silence. This is the ultimate thing. The last one is the very, very difficult thing. Then the last, 5th chapter, that is mind your own business. Another common desire which we must sternly, that is very, very strongly repress, is to wish to meddle in somebody else's business. Always we poke our nose in somebody else's life also, or somebody else's business also, because we think that I know better than him. I know better than her. It's very easy for me to solve their problem. All these things should not happen. So what another person does or say or believe is no affair of ours. So we must learn to let him to be absolutely alone. Let him decide. Let him go through that. Annie Besant used to tell, it's very easy to solve my neighbor's problem, but his karma is there. So he has to finish his karma. Then only he has to come out of that. So let me, unless and until he asks me my opinion, I'll give. Otherwise, my duty is to keep my mouth shut. So let's mind my own business, because that is not my plate of food. It's not my cup of tea to have. No, we should not meddle in somebody else's business. How I expect freedom of thought or speech or action, in the same way, I should be in a position to give freedom to another person, and I have no right to talk about the another person. Always we gossip, no? Gossip about whom? About the third person. The third person is not there in that particular place. In the particular point of time, he is not there. So we start gossiping about the third person. That should completely stop. At the same time, we should not go and gossip to the third person who is not at all relevant, but we won't tell the third person. This is extremely wicked action. It's very wicked. It's very evil, cruel. This is a serious fault. This fault we should not do. The reason behind this is fear and looking good. I want to look good in front of whomsoever are there. Is it necessary? It is utter waste of my energy, my time, my life. So let's stop completely. It is said gossip has stimulating effect upon the astral and mental bodies. The fact that perfect freedom means perfect service. If we want to serve, we should have perfect freedom. So if we doesn't waste our time in something else and meddling somebody else's business, we will have sufficient time to serve. So if we see a case of cruelty to a child, all these things is we don't have any business to meddle in somebody else's life or to do somebody else's business. In 3 times, again there is exception. That is when we see in case of cruelty to a child or an animal, and when somebody is breaking the law of the country, we can meddle. Because when the child or animal, no, when they are going through the cruelty means that's our duty to interfere. Because cruelty is an abuse of strength, they cannot protect themselves because they are very young, they cannot say, they cannot speak it out, neither they have got physical strength. So our duty is to interfere. Then another time is when somebody is breaking the law of the country, we should inform to the higher ups, higher authorities. Competent authorities will be there, so we have to inform. So G.S. Arundel says Annie Besant might break the law, she would not actually be breaking the peace. This happened during Home Rule League when she introduced, when she was working for that, this happened. But she never disturbed the peace of the country. We have to take this duty very, very seriously and at the same time help to those who ask our protection. We have to protect. So we should be vigilant enough. Then in government and all, they have introduced Vigilance Awareness Week in the month of September. Then whatever we do, we should be transparent enough. Otherwise, we can blow the whistle and then we can complain. Then these days, RTI is there. Right to Information Act is also there. Then in one case, somebody had protected the Gunda, but actually in that particular case, that person was not there. To give shelter to a criminal also is a crime. That also we should not do. Then in our society only, there are two things. As we have to see the law, as per at the same time we have to see the fact. As per law, the crime was committed. The person had not done any crime at all. That is the real fact. But as per law, that proved they had created all false things. So one of the Theosophical Society member, during that time he was the judge. So he thinks what to do. As per law, everything they have proved. But the fact is he has not done anything else. So he literally resigned to his job. So in case if we are placed in charge of another person, in order to teach him, it may become our duty gently to tell him about his faults. So let us be good. Whomsoever are doing their any mistake means it's because of the fifth race and we are fifth sub race. That is the lower mental mind. Because of all these things, only faults are happening. So let us be the aim that one of the masters said. Our object is not to make good people, but to make mighty spiritual power for good. For that, we have to develop desirelessness. Thank you for the opportunity given to me once again.
Thank you, Rani, for explaining in detail and in-depth, giving a lot of examples about desirelessness. You touched upon all the 5 aspects and talked about the will aspect, how important that will plays a role in having this quality, developing this quality of desirelessness. You spoke about psychic powers, small desires. All these are day-to-day. We face this in our day-to-day life. It may be in our house, or it may be at our work, or it may be with the society. So we are facing all this. You take any part of this chapter from chapter 1, all the aspects from this discrimination, to the love. These are things that we face in our daily lives. And we find it very difficult. If we have to really put this into practical use, we know how difficult it becomes. So I think most of us who are part of this session today, they would have heard about desirelessness, or especially if you're part of Theosophy for more than 2-3 years, I think this is one of the topics which keeps coming on in various forums. And in spite of knowing all that, when we try to implement, we know what are the difficulties. In spite of knowing everything, we still have a lot of questions. We still urge to learn more, how to get rid of it. It's one of the biggest challenges. So in case anybody has questions, please do feel free, because I'm sure you will. This is a kind of a subject where everybody will have some or the other doubts. I think somebody has posted a question. I'll try to search that.
Yes, I read the question.
Yeah. So what about, I think if I remember, so what about
expectation
loved ones?
from near and dear ones in return of love we have shown to them.
Yeah. So how do we?
Report my own life example. 35 years before, one of my near and dear ones, lady was there. She got married after 1973, maybe 75 or 76. She had a kid after 10 years and nobody was there. Her mother was not alive. Sisters did not come forward to take care of her after her delivery. So my mother did that 3 months process, whatever was required. We reared that kid and everything. Then that kid also studied, became engineer. While studying only, she lost her father also. Mother was housewife. She couldn't do anything. My mother, to the maximum extent, she helped. Whatever possible, even all of us helped her. All nearest and dearest, everybody helped. Now her salary per year, per annum is 2 crores. And she visited few places and she came aramse. For every festival, I should not say, I carried whatever my mother had cooked, food to their house. And today is her child's birthday. She's least bothered to even to invite me. It's a fact. So if I expect where I land up? I land up in disappointment. Even this thought should not be there. My duty is to do this job. Let's focus completely on this. Whatever was due, that was supposed to be done, it was done. That was my duty, I finished. Don't expect any result. But at the same time, we should not stop helping the other person. That should be our motto. Let us do our duty because that person was in need. That was very much required to be done. Because I knew that that person was in that bad condition. Our duty is to do without expecting anything. When whatever the questions she posed, I asked, I listened, but I never felt like asking her anything because I could see the difference when she was a child, how she was, and when now, after starting earning money, what is her attitude? I know. Every dikava I saw. Only in front of public she behaved as if nothing has happened. She went abroad. She did not even had the manners or the basic courtesy of informing my mother before she left India. Now she is coming, Aji, if Aji would have been there, she would have done this, she would have done that. Everything is false. So let's not expect anything. In case if we come across anybody who is in that condition, let's help. Without expecting, our duty is to do. Let's do our duty and forget about the result. This is what I feel. I hope your doubt has got cleared. That includes these days children also. Why so many old age houses are coming up?
I think B.S. Babu has raised his hand, brothers. B.S. Babu, any questions? You can unmute.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Ma'am, wonderful talk.
Thank you.
I have 2 questions, madam.
Ha.
The first one is there any difference between needs and desires?
Needs should be fulfilled. Desire is something different. I need more. That is greed. Desire is
How?
greed. We don't use the discrimination. No, whether really it is required. Last month in our talk, we have received no important, unimportant, useful, useless accumulation. Yesterday, out of greed, I purchased that saree. That was not a need to me. That is my desire. I like the color. I like the texture. That is desire.
So is it
That
our
was not a need.
Yes, ma'am.
We
So
have
is
to
it our
use our discrimination.
yes? So our discrimination tells us what are our needs and what are our desires.
Exactly right, sir.
Okay. And you said we should abandon our desires, no, ma'am. Is it
Yes.
always possible, and is it within our hands actually to control them?
That is what, if you will,
Okay.
that will, no, it will just go. We have always, in Viveka should be there at the background, because that we are totally merged ourselves in the worldly affairs. I want this, I want that. We are always in possessing, accumulating. We have to leave. In case if I would have not purchased that saree, nothing. I would have 100% whatever the sarees are there. That is enough for my entire life. I leave all these things and I'll die. And I cannot take even one thing along with me.
Can I say, ma'am, that each person will have their own degree of will? Some will have strong will, some will have weak will.
Exactly. Only the strong will climb the mountain. That willpower is a must. Yes, we have to develop that.
Then the question is how?
Step by step.
Yeah, the question is how to make our will strong.
It's possible, sir.
Okay.
Try, sir.
Ma'am, if we start. Yes.
Next one.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, one last question. You said that if we give unconditional love, then desirelessness will develop.
Sure.
See, I am feeling that once you are desireless and become so-called pure inside, then
while serving, no, I quoted the example that master, yoga master, how nicely he was so joyous. Yes. It's possible. You try, sir. Only once I tried. I'd been to some park. Without plucking the flower, I came out. I was so happy. First time that desire, all beautiful flowers. I did not pluck even one. Yeah. After I came out, I was so happy. It's possible. You can try out.
Yeah. Thank you, madam. But this is a very important topic.
It was nice talking to.
I have been thinking about this for a long time.
Thank you. Namaskar, Mrs. Sandhya Rani ji. It was nice listening to you, and you gave a very deliberate and a very nice talk today. And I was really impressed. What I wanted to comment was, it's a small comment, a life without need, without desire, I feel would not be life in completeness. In fact, the four जो पुरुषार्थ हैं, the four dues, that is dharam, arth, kam, and moksha. You need dharam, you need arth, you need kam, and you need moksha also. So dharam is the way to lead life. Arth is the needs, desires which have to be fulfilled. And if the needs and desires are not fulfilled, the life itself becomes unfulfilled. Even Arjun, his name was Arjun because he was able to gather all the wealth and all the desires of his life. So my submission, humble submission, I don't have much gyan, but my humble submission is you do whatever you like, whatever you love most. And the only restriction is nobody should be harmed. Do no harm to anybody.
Yes, yes. Not by taking away somebody
else's. That is what I gathered from your lecture today. There should not be. In greed also, when you start harming, you take things from others, then it is difficult, then it is a wrong thing.
Yes,
but
yes.
Up to what you need, then it is okay. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you.
Total energy You can. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
I
Thanks
raised
for
my hand because when this question was asked, no, need versus desire, I got reminded of one example which I have been quoting in many of my other talks also. On our way back from Banaras in one of the Indian Section Convention, I think 3-4 years back, me, my husband, and my daughter stayed in holiday in Lucknow for one night because we are traveling on road. Okay, so we took a break. So next day morning when we went for breakfast, we found that the restaurant, I mean the same holiday in Lucknow, there's a restaurant in the first floor, ground floor, whatever. So all the tables had one folded paper which was carrying a picture of a glass, not even half filled. It's not about whether the glass is half filled or half empty or half filled. No, it's not about that. It is about 1/3 of the glass was filled. The picture carried 1/3 glass filled, and there was this line cut and arrowed and written, "My need." And on the brim of it was written, "It's my want." And you won't imagine, it's not just a comment they were showing up in the pictures. They really behaved in that fashion. All the waiters and waitresses who were there, they were serving water only 1/3 of the glass whenever they were serving, just to make us realize, give that message very subtly and very strongly at the same time, that guys, we are serving you only 1/3 of the water because you are going to throw it otherwise. You will only drink this much and you're going to throw it. That is the first lesson of, realizing that we actually out of habit do it. Even if it's a small matter of, consuming water, we take, we throw. We go to a party, we take full plates of things, we don't eat. We buy clothes, as you said, and we don't use it. I read somewhere that something which you do not use for 6 months is actually useless. Donate it, throw it, but don't keep it. Clean your house. Don't keep that. That is again baggage you will carry. And you are not going to carry anything with us. So why to create baggages? Desires are like that. They are not our needs, they are wants. So let us correct our assumptions, facts, or whatever we call it. It got reminded, so I was kind of overwhelmed to say this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from anybody? Ma'am, thank you for the good lecture. We really had a lot of insights about desirelessness and Master's importance. Their message about desirelessness and R&D, all are really good one to understand and follow. I like to know the connection between desirelessness and growth. Maybe somebody else in a different way. I'm finding it difficult because we are in a world of materialism. So unless we have something, survival itself is a big question mark. So how do we connect desirelessness and growth as an individual, as a country, or as a home? I need you to throw some light on this.
Sir, can you please tell me about what do you mean by growth?
Goals, I think. Goals or growth? Okay. Growth is something I would say measurable in any aspect. Maybe my son is 120 centimeters today, maybe he's 150. Likewise, in material also we see I have 5 shirts today, tomorrow I have 10 shirts. That's what the common approach to growth. Okay. And that is what making us feel comfortable living in this beautiful world. Okay. We need to have something to show, not only belong to for our own satisfaction that we are growing mentally or physically or materialistically. Is there a connection? I do not know really, but I'm trying to connect the dots. Desirelessness is a very big word. Okay, I can't say no to everything or anything needed. Okay, that's why I'm trying to have some light on this connectivity. Is there a connectivity, or I'm wrongly connecting these two words? That's what I like to hear from you.
Sir, this is a book of spiritual classic. This is a path we are going in spirituality. There are two growth. in theosophy, we say two things. One is matter, one is spirit. Matter grows by accumulating. Matter grows because spirit comes from above. From Paramatma, one ray gets down. By accumulating, then it develops, then physically, finally, it becomes a human being. Then the spirit, whatever the spirit, original spirit is there. Matter has completely grown. Then the spirit has to grow. Spirit grows by sacrifice. In the beginning, whatever we touch, everything will become gold. That is while accumulating. Whatever we touch, it will become gold. While leaving, when we go back, one is descending, another one is ascending. When we descend, we grow in a materialistic world. In spiritualistic world, whatever we touch, everything goes. That is, we have to sacrifice. It is not that easy. Everything goes. Nothing will be left for us. That ego, no, whatever we have developed, myself is equal to my balance. Myself is equal to my clothes. Myself is equal to my physical appearance. Myself is equal to my family, my position, all those things. These are all materialistic growth. Spiritualistic growth is unity, connecting with the higher self. This is a book, is a known as spiritual classic. In spirituality, everything we leave. Whatever that accumulation ke liye, whatever that desire, I desire this, I possessed. I desire this, I acquired. Here, nothing. I leave this, I'll sacrifice this, I'll give away, I'll give away, I'll give away. Everything I'll give, and I'll be merged myself into that oneness. All are our people only. All, everything is one. In that unity, the spirit grows. In diversity, matter grows.
Yes, I got your point. Spirituality, leaving behind what we have is growth. That's what I was conveying. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, growth, when we are talking about, when we are comparing with others and we think we are below, we tend to have that goal of having a better life. We need to do this. Again, we're comparing with somebody and we're growing. There we are alone growing. So in spirituality, we are not talking about growing alone. So we grow when people around us grow. So what are we doing to help people around us grow? So that is a different aspect. And when it is put into the actual practice, then we'll understand all this desirelessness, how much we are always, when we are thinking about growth, we are always thinking about our own growth. But the actual happiness, the amount of happiness, that example of serving, right? Serving is, everybody serves, but serving out of love is different, and normal serving is different. Same way, growing alone is different, and helping others grow is different. And in that process of helping others selflessly, all these aspects we tend to develop. So that is another way. I think Vimalji, that one point I wanted to add. Vimalji?
I'm not putting out my video because my internet is a little slow. So Sandhya,
no
beautiful lecture, and I really enjoyed your personal stories. That was so nice. I think if everybody does this, it will be more interesting, because that is what we learn from our life. We learn the truth of whatever we read. So one thing, like I just thought I can add to this is, for us, if we want to understand desirelessness, we can use the another word, aspiration. Desirelessness is the opposite, or desire is the opposite of aspiration. For example, you are aspiring for some higher goals or a higher life. You want your higher self to express yourself in this birth. You don't want only this personality's needs and that all the desires, only that to be expressed. That is also fighting with that higher self. It wants, it doesn't want to give up this personality. But we are trying to rise above this personality, and the other word is aspiration. So aspiration versus desire. So that is what I thought will make a little clarity for this word.
Nice. Thank you.
Thanks.
think, yeah, in the interest of time, we will stop here. Any doubts, any questions, you can. Anyway, we will get in touch. This book will go on. It will be done. Other 2 sections will be done in the next month and the following month. So some of these topics will keep coming again and again. So yeah, in the interest of time, we will stop here today. So yeah, we will do Omkara once, and then we'll have a Shanti Mantra, and we'll close for today. And sit silently for 30 seconds. Just recollect whatever you could assess through this session. Whatever doubts you have, you can keep thinking about them and spend some time in silence. We spoke about silence also. So we'll be silent for 30 seconds, then Omkara, then Shanti. Om Sarve Vai Sukhinah Santu Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Paschyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I'd like to thank everybody for being there till now and participating in all the discussions, because that is what is important. And finally, thanks to Sandhya ji for
thank you Varun, thank you Sanjay Rani ji, बहुत अच्छा लगा, मजा आया. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.